Good evening. Just a quick one. So, I just got out of The Strangers Chapter 1. So, just going to give a little bit of a spoiler-free review thoughts, as it were. I say spoiler-free, if you know sort of the premise or if you've seen the first one, then you'll know sort of what I'm trying to skirt around. But anyway, so it started, obviously heard quite a bit of negativity around it, heard it's going to be a trilogy, so I go in with all these things in mind. So it starts off pretty good, actually, to be fair. Again, it's not really a spoiler. If you've seen the first one, the couple have a home invasion on their home or their holiday cabin or whatever it is, but it's their place. Whereas in this one, they go to they're driving across country, they stop off in this little town, they have a bit of car problems, they go and stay in the cabin, so it's not their home, so I suppose they're strangers. And all that build-up's actually pretty good. The town's quite interesting. It's a very small sort of town, and that's quite interesting. Then they get to this cabin and things start to play out there, and all the sort of the slow burn, the build-up stuff's pretty good. The background shots of the strangers in the background and stuff, and unfortunately that's sort of where it sort of starts to become extremely generic. Not bad, just extremely generic. There's no use of the property, there's no use of the characters, the three strangers, the masked ones, whatever you want to call them. They think no point in using the masks. It's just, they're just there. It goes a bit loud. When it gets a bit loud, it loses any sort of tension it was building, and it just becomes a really generic, very horror trope heavy, run-of-the-mill, not even a slasher, because there's no killing going on in it. And I struggle to see where it can go with chapters 2 and 3. Like, I don't know. Whereas in the original, that was a one and done movie. Then The Strangers Prey at Night, which in my personal opinion is my favourite. I love that film, and that's a slasher film because there's a bit of a body cam. So I don't know if they're going to go straight in and do something similar to that. Which, if that's the plan, they should have just made a third Strangers film. The director, Ronnie, should have looked it up before I started, but he directed like Die Hard 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Deep Blue Sea, Cliffhanger, some good fun films, and he has even if you're not a fan of the film, I'm not a massive fan of Elm Street Part 4, but you can't deny the film's got a bit of visual style, something to keep you interested. This could have just been some sort of straight to streaming service, run-of-the-mill entry. So, like I say, it's not bad. It just doesn't offer anything new whatsoever. The two main leads are not as good as the ones in previous films. They're serviceable, and that's the problem. The whole film's serviceable. But this channel's new, or sort of, and there's not many views, and I don't particularly want to crap all over films and stuff. That's not what I really like to do. I like to try and find the good stuff in them. And if a film's crap, let's not beat it back around the bush. Didn't like it that much, and move on. But I liked it. I wouldn't rush to watch it again. I'd watch it again. I'd watch it on streaming service before the sequel come out. I don't know if the sequels or the chapters are being filmed back to back. If it's going to be quick turnaround, I would assume it should. Well, I would like to think there'd be quick turnarounds, because I think interest is going to die out on this very quickly, and that's the problem with these, not just horror, but with films in general, not just horror. Everything's got to be a sequel. Everything's got to be a trilogy now, and it's like let's make a good first film first. If it works, we'll pick it back off of it. It kind of stands on its own. It's not much different to the original. It's just it just loses all any atmosphere it kind of builds towards, it just loses in the second half of the film, which is a shame. Rennie Harden, is it? Could be. I can't remember. Anyway, I've been prattling on for over 5 minutes now. So, very generic. Wouldn't say it's bad. Look, on the 1 to 10 scale, it gets a 6. You know, no real reason to go back and watch it anytime soon. Yeah. Thank you. Anyway, good night. Want to discuss it? Leave a like, please. And a comment, and we'll have a chat. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend.